Okay. Opening prayer today is going to be by Gary Beck, a 1964 graduate of Stryker. Gary?
Ooh, that's way back.
That's way back.
A couple years before.
That's right. Father God in heaven, you're an awesome God. A God that we can worship and put our trust and our faith in. A God that never let us down and always be there for us. We thank you for what you've done for us. You've blessed this country. God, we ask you to continue to bless her. And we pray that the country will go back to a God-fearing country. But God, tonight, as this group of men open the season for this city, I pray you'll give them the wisdom to make tough choices, difficult choices. I pray you'll help them in their wisdom and help them in their knowledge and to do what's right. God, we know that not everybody agrees with what's right, but we know that we need to do it. God, we're so thankful tonight for the blessing that you've given this country, this nation, or this state. I pray you bless this city. Help her to grow. Help people look to come here and maybe start businesses or whatever it is that she might grow and she might become strong again. We've got so many blessings but thank you for Jesus. Without him, we could not have eternal life. You're a great, great God, a blessed God, and we thank you. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance is going to be done tonight by Army Specialist 4 from 1964 to 1966, and Vietnam veteran in 65 and 66, Mr. Jim Mueller.
I graduated in 61. So
61.
I'm older than your dad.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Thank you. The next item we have prior to getting the meeting going is the oath of office for Brooke Overland and Terry Whelan. You guys, do I need them up in one spot over here, or does it matter? Okay, both of you over on this side if you would. I'll start out with the one, and if you would go through and do the I state your name, and then we'll do it together after that. Okay. I state your name.
I, Terry Whelan,
I, Brooke Overland, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support the Constitution
or affirm that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the Village of Stryker,
of the villages of Stryker,
and to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability
will discharge the duties of the office
will discharge the duties of the office
of Councilman
of Councilman
for the Village of Stryker.
for the village of Stryker.
Congratulations. Congratulations. We'll have some papers for you to fill out after. Next is roll call.
Overland,
Here.
Blevins,
Yep.
Sterling,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Whelan,
Yes.
Whittick.
I am here.
Next on the agenda, we have the open and closed floor for nominations of president. So the floor is open for nominations for president of the 16 calendar year. Would someone like to open the floor for nominations? It's okay, anyone can speak up.
Sure, I'll open the floor for nominations.
Okay?
How about Terry? He's done a fine job.
I guess my vote for Jerry.
I'm good with it.
Is there any other nominations for president at this time? And then we'll go into the voting.
Okay.
How about Bob's?
Okay? Terry and Bob. Any other nominations? Okay, we'll close the nominations. Do we want to do this by ballot?
To me, it's reasonable and customary.
Yeah.
We've done a coin flip before.
Oh, okay. So if you would, write that through.
I think it's by ballot, I can't get them apart.
Terry Wheelan and Bob.
Bob's easier to write. It's the same word. I'm not looking for
He's throwing all the ones out that have your name on it.
Oh, not that. No, not that.
Yeah. We have,
First decision.
we have 3 votes for Terry. And 3 votes for Bob.
In the past, this has resulted in a coin toss or the mayor simply making a selection. So, your choice. It's happened both ways before. And we can revote until something changes.
In this case, I'm going to go based on both of you being, in my opinion, very capable. If I look at some of the time constraints,
He's gonna pick right.
looking at some of the time constraints, and I know the workload outside of the village, I'm going to lean towards Terry on this one. But both very worthy of the position. Terry, are you willing to accept the president?
Yes. Excellent. We don't need to move this.
Okay.
What you guys are doing, but.
Perfect.
Right, a clean campaign.
We did?
The next item up is the previous minutes.
I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the previous minutes dated December 7th, 2015. Second.
Blevins,
Yes.
Spurling,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Wheelan,
Yes.
Whittick,
Yes.
Oberlin.
Yes.
Finance reports.
Do you have any words of wisdom for us on these,
Not a whole lot, I'd like to go over that long sheet that you have folded up.
I'm sorry, but could you maybe, no disrespect, but maybe for Brooks, since he's brand new on here.
I'll go over
maybe
each report.
Kind of
we can do
really
that.
briefly,
You put in for us.
kind of what it is there.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right.
And I'd like to end with that long one, just because that's a whole summary of the year.
Right.
The first one, your fund status report.
So she's gonna go through each one on the fund status.
This is all the funds the village has, and it is to this date, well, actually to the date at the top of the report, the 8th. This is basically the village's checkbook. It's each fund balance. As you get going throughout the year, you'll find out the restrictions of, street money can only be spent on street, highway only on highway. But, everything kind of follows this basis of those first 4 numbers, where it says fund numbers on the side. So, if you really wanna follow the budget and you learn those 4 digits, it's gonna everything follows those. So that's basically the checkbook. The next one, your payment listing. Now, this is of January 1st, because I can't combine the years on this first one, but every council meeting, I do from the last council meeting to the present council meeting, and this is everything that has been paid. So, as you can see, it's kind of lengthy, because there's a payroll in there, and then everything at the beginning of the year, your workers' comp, codified ordinances, there's a lot of things that are only paid at the beginning of the year that makes it look lengthy right now on there. So you get that every council meeting also, and it's from council meeting to council meeting. If there's ever a question, you can just ask me what the number is and what we paid it for. On the receipt listing, that's kind of contrary too, because it's only for January, and so that didn't catch December, from the last meeting on there, so there's only 3 receipts on that. Usually there's a pretty big chunk of receipts on there, but we haven't taken much in since the beginning of January. And then your next report, the revenue status. This is what's estimated to the county that we're gonna bring in per line item. I have to start the year out with, based on prior years, what I believe we're gonna bring in. And the goal is, you should see the percentages going up. Like, you wanna get to 100%, you received at that far column, you received 100% of what you thought. Otherwise, I have to adjust to the county each line down to what we actually brought in. So it follows your fund status. Like, if you look, and it tells you at the top there, your general fund's 1,000, it tells you what your street is, what your highway is, and this is every revenue line item the village has. So it's pretty easy to follow, and you get this each council meeting too. And this is a as-to-date report, so it's always gonna be as of, when I do council packets, what the village has in revenue for the year. And then the next one, this is basically the appropriation status. This is your budget. This is your expenses. This is every line item that the village is budgeted. And, ideally you wanna stay low percent on this one, not spend everything that's budgeted. So, it breaks it down by fund, it gives you the total. So, they're all pretty easy to follow.
Excuse me, but on some of this one,
Mm-hmm.
we have very little say in some of the Medicare, some of that stuff, that's government funds.
Yeah. And then, I always give a monthly income tax report, or I have the deputy clerk, Emily. So that income tax one, it's just a 1-page. If you look down, this is for the end of December. For the end of the year, we actually finished 5% ahead of last year, $21,932 ahead of what we collected last year. So, not a tremendous jump, but a good jump. We really hit collecting this on delinquent accounts, and I think that's what the big difference was. Is we kind of pushed towards that a little harder. And Sodders in Dalton has been up, which doesn't totally take away from A. Schumann being out, but it's helped. So that, and then the one that I gave you extra tonight, you don't normally get. It's on a long piece of paper because there's no way to shrink it down, so you'd be able to read it on that's a shrunken on the big page. This is the whole year I wanted to cover, basically. On the column on your left, that's what I started the year with, per fund. And, the fund adjustments, that's an audit adjustment, cause there was the one voided check for $10.57 never cashed. And then the 13,000, there was a water accidentally posted in sewer 1 month. When I was gone in 14, and I had to make an audit adjustment then to correct, so that's what that is. And then the revenue, that's all the revenue per fund that we brought in for the year. So you can see your total revenue down there at the bottom. Then if you go to about the middle where it says total fund and adjustments, that's what the village had totally available to them with the carryover and all your revenue. And the expenditures, that's what was actually spent per fund. And then if you go to the fund balance, that's what I finished the year with. So, and if we had investments, that would be your next column, but we don't have any investments, so that's why there's nothing there. But if you had like CDs or anything, that would be in that next column. But this really, I wanted to give you something to show you the year as a whole. And this is the best. My program does over 200 reports. This is the best one to show you the year altogether.
Looks like we're in pretty good shape. We went down and other capital projects were up on just about every other, well, state highways now, I guess.
Yeah, your street's down a little bit and your capital projects is down, and that's because of that loan. And what I'm looking at doing, possibly this year, is paying more out of sewer. Because we've had a break, we don't know how that's gonna go. We've had an issue the last couple weeks, it's a capital issue.
Yeah,
So,
was all of that after the first of the year, so it's all 2016 then?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nothing
I've
like
not
starting
had
the
no
year
bill
right.
or nothing, yeah. But I'm thinking of rearranging the loan to be some more paid out of sewer to kind of save, since the capital is down. That's something I'm looking at, and also, our street, Mike, he does water and sewer also, so kind of adjusting his pay to help with our street total.
And we've done that in the past,
So
as
that's,
far as some recalculations. and
yeah,
percentages.
yeah,
So
so there,
that's nothing
there
major.
might be an appropriation ordinance, I'm thinking like around March or so,
Okay.
Just
a supplemental.
I see water looks great, sewer is up. So, any portion of that sewer work, if that's maintenance, or is that all capital? That work is down by salaries?
The exact on that has not been figured.
Okay.
We're still waiting on some final bills to come through on that.
Mhm.
So
It might be an insurance issue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
there's multiple things involved yet. We're
So it's
unsure which
ongoing
category.
investigation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
great, okay.
so,
Any other questions
no,
or
unless they have some.
for Glenn?
Good job, thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Well, with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the financial statement as presented, dated
Second,
January 8th, 2016.
second one is
Roll call?
Wise,
Yes.
Wheelan,
yes.
Whittick,
Yes.
Oberlin,
Yes.
Levens,
Yes.
Sperling.
Yes.
Next is communications. We have an email from Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. They're wanting to know if anyone has some interest in kicking off Northwest Ohio event in March. So if there's any interest in that from any of the council or even the village employees, I will leave this with Beth. That way she has that, and you can get with her. But again, it's breast awareness, or the kickoff for breast awareness in March. Next is citizens. We'll start here if you would. I don't know if we've done it in the past because I haven't really paid attention. in one sense, but if you would, just state your name for the camera,
Okay,
and then it's all yours.
okay, thanks. Steve Planson and representing the Springfield Township trustees. And I guess had a couple questions that, well, first, how many people was on council when they agreed to go with the township and purchase Harley Burkholder's building? I know Bob was.
I was early on with the discussions, but I was not when we actually made the purchase.
So
I
everybody,
lobbied hard for many years.
I'm not sure if Tracy was at that time. Were you on council here when
I
that
don't
took place?
believe, no, I don't believe.
I
Rick
think it would be
might have been
Tracy and Brooke,
on. Okay,
and maybe the other three were just coming in at the tail end.
No,
Would've been-
they weren't. I was aware of it, but I was not on council.
well, anyway, just so everyone remembers, we don't wanna be forgot about, but, they agreed to, town agreed to go with the township and purchase the fire, where the fire department is now, Harley's building, and, was that $212,000 or $221, I can't remember which it was, but I know that your resolution passed this year on the ballot that you can move money to the general fund, and just wondering where we're gonna come in on that.
Just a clarification, that's not gonna happen until 2017.
Okay.
July
For one
of
thing.
2017. We have to pay off the OWDA loan before I can move anything. So it's not till July 2017.
Okay.
The fine print in the ballot language says when the, July, with the final payment's made, then we can transfer. So there's a date on the calendar where it's looking a lot rosier for that to occur. I think everybody sitting here at the table, when this was brought up, was it last year, 2 years ago?
I come every year.
Okay, yeah. We agreed that we all feel a moral obligation to follow through on what decisions were made by the prior council that, and I know from being a firefighter, that I believe that you would not have purchased that building had you not expected
Exactly.
the financial assistance of the village.
I guess,
Absolutely, I mean, morally, we owe it.
so you don't forget about us is all.
No,
I'm just, a lot of new faces, and I just don't wanna be left out.
no, and we don't take it that way. We
Yeah.
appreciate you coming.
And the other question is, it was at least 2 years ago, they were gonna run a water line over to the fire department for us, and that hasn't happened yet neither.
Well, it certainly has, the fire hydrant's right
Yeah.
beside the,
We
got
one by 84.
We did do that.
I thought it was supposed to be in the building.
It is in the building.
Oh, okay, when did that
Yes.
happen, this summer?
Yeah, late in the year.
Well,
Okay.
Not too long ago,
I think
about
it
4 or
was
5 months
September,
ago.
October.
Okay, great, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
that's
My
been done.
mistake.
Okay, we're fast on that one.
Hey, all right.
Well,
It's
you
an
can,
adequate.
you can inspect that tomorrow morning and let us know how you think that we
Yeah,
did
it's just
overall.
inside
Thank
this-
you.
It was
Inside
about
this door,
9,000,
there's
a little over $9,000.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
done, the parking lot,
It's
everything
all up
was
and running.
fixed up.
I believe it was one of the first days of school, so.
Yes,
I would say it was
yeah,
after
we tore out the
Bob's.
sidewalk and set the board machine.
Didn't even
inside the
notice,
fence.
yeah.
I know one of the issues was a scheduling issue with the company that was going to do the work.
S&S boring? Okay.
A
Good.
week before that.
I think you've walked by it and not noticed it, because I'm sure you've been in the building
Yeah,
since we did
yeah,
that.
I must not know.
Yeah, it's a, what is that, 2 inch or 4 inch?
4 inch.
4 inch hydrant. So it's about yay tall and this big around, and it's easy to walk into if you're not paying attention, but you could not notice it if you weren't looking for it.
Yeah, that's done. I don't think, was there more?
No, that's it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we have one or two more.
We've never done this before, so we're reading it here.
Okay.
My name is Katie Lee. We're here, kind of half and half, I guess, on behalf of Medic 3 and also the fire department. We really just came up to talk to you guys about potentially helping pay for some students go through the EMT class right now. I'm not really sure how much you know about Medic 3. Right now, we only have 3 EMTs for the whole town of Stryker. Kenny and I are husband and wife, and we're 2 of the 3, so essentially that means if one of us or both of us are out of town, Medic 3 is out of service, which we don't like to have happen as little as possible. So we went to the fire department, we presented the idea to a bunch of the guys to take the class this fall. It actually started already in December, the beginning of December, and we have 3 guys going through the class. The fire department said that they would pay for the guys to go through the class because Medic 3 does not have the funding to help the people do so, and that's essentially what it comes down for a lot of people, is to find the funding to do it. But we wondered if there was any way that the town could help, maybe chip in a little or go half and half with the fire department or whatever. I have costs, I don't know.
What sort of numbers are?
Well, the tuition for each student is $600 a piece. The books are $175 a piece. The fire department has already paid for all of the books. That had to be paid for up front for the guys to start. And then at the end of the class, they will have to take, according to Williams County protocol, which Medic 3 is run by the county, they will have to take a national registry test. That test is $70 per attempt. If they pass the first time, then it's just $70. If they have to take it 2 or 3 times, then it'll be more, of course.
Gas is $845. I will say, from the fire department perspective, those dollars are from our fundraisers. They are not township tax dollars. They are dollars we've raised by our fundraising efforts. Just for what it's worth.
No, I think it was just a few years ago, we had a very similar request. And I think
That's how Kenny and I made it through the
You
class.
2, I believe, were the ones that was brought to us as far as a council to basically sponsor in a sense or help contribute towards those expenses. And it's actually nice to know that it's paid off. Paid off very
Paid
well.
off well.
And number one, we appreciate that. Council. Thoughts on contribute?
Well, I'm all for doing something. I'm not sure what something is yet, but Beth gives me an idea.
What we can do on that, I don't think there's anyone sitting at this table or in this room that doesn't understand the need or anything like that. We definitely understand that. We appreciate what you do. Here shortly, we're going to go through and be setting up some committees, and that would fall under one of the that would fall under our finance committee to go through and sit down and discuss. So just to make sure I have my numbers correctly, you said it was $600 tuition.
Correct,
The book cost was already covered
correct.
by donation from the fire department, from their fundraisers, and then the national registry test is $70.
Correct.
Okay. And how often does the class go? How many hours are you looking at? Maybe just kind of an overview for people.
Do you know how many hours it is? I can't remember exactly how many hours it is off the top of my head. It's
Okay.
a 6-month class.
6 months?
It
Okay.
started in December and it ends in June,
The test is in June.
something like that, end of June. So they'll be able to test out probably July-ish sometime. After that, you have to have so many hours per year, which is pretty minimal, of continuing education, just like the fire department has to have so many hours. But for the squad, for medics, you only have to have it so many hours every 3 years. So, but I don't remember that number either, it's minute.
When is the deadline of when this has to be paid? Do they have a,
Right now I'm working with Connie Briggle. She's the training coordinator. She takes all the funding for the classes and everything. essentially, you have till the end of the class. They
Okay.
cannot test out, and take their national registry. They can't do that until everything is paid for. But it gives us a little time. I told her one way or the other, it will be paid for regardless of whether the fire department pays for everything, or whether you guys help. So she knows it'll get covered, it's just when. We got a little time.
Okay.
Does the county help you at all in this case?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They used to, I believe it was the county that used to do, if you got on, they would help you pay for the class, but then you'd have to sign on and stay on for 3 years. But I think that's,
They've been burned so many times, it's-
yeah, been burned is, for lack of better words. People just don't keep to their word nowadays like they used to.
Now, is this something you can go through and leave your contact information with our fiscal officer? And then what we'll do is once we set our committee up, it's something they can discuss there and then bring to council as a whole, and then she can make that contact.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
fine.
I didn't catch it. How many, did you say you had some interested in it?
3.
We have 3 guys that are on the fire department now that have started taking the class. So hopefully that'll double our numbers there.
I got a question, who pays for Medics 3, upkeep on the ambulance? Is that county?
That's the
It's
county.
county.
I believe, in quote, or correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's the village's responsibility to house it.
Correct. But as far
But
as
everything else
maintenance
falls under the
goes,
county.
correct.
Yeah, we'd sure like to get back to you on it, and we'll do that.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, thank both of you for what
Thank
you
you.
do and for
Thanks for
coming
it.
as well.
Job well done.
Thank you.
Just since Katie and Kenny are kind of modest, I will say, they weren't kidding when they said if one of them or both of them leave town, it's Wausau service. They do have young children. They rarely, they think so highly of Stryker and the importance of what they do that they rarely leave town because they know that squad will be out of service. So
Well, that's
any help,
very good.
additional help
Thank
we
you.
can get, is,
Thanks.
Yep.
they're for sure.
All right, thank you again.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Committee reports.
You might need this squad tonight.
Okay?
The committee reports, there are
Thanks.
6, thank you, sir. There are 6 standing committees that we have here in the village. Those are assigned by this position here. I've already have them, and I will hand them out to each of you as far as which one you're on. The only thing I did not put on here is who is going to chair or lead that position. And I kind of want that committee to kind of go through and decide that, and then we'll make that mark there. The service committee, which I think you each have one of these, but I'll go through and read that just for your benefit as well as the ones watching. This committee shall consist of 3 members of council who shall have authority and supervision over all work and labor performed on the streets, alleys, sewers, drains in said village, and shall from time to time, or as required, report the condition of said streets, alleys, sewers, and drains. The safety committee, actually under that service, right now it would kind of be a busy one because Alan's going to give a report on some things coming up on some wonderful things that he's had here recently. The safety committee consists of 3 members of council who shall have authority and supervision over all public buildings, fire apparatus, fire cisterns, and jail, which we do not have, and who shall investigate and report from time to time, or as required, the conditions and necessary requirements of same. It shall also be their duty to attend all meetings pertaining to the safety of the village and its citizens. I know that one's, we don't have a ton of things under that, however, it's still extremely important anytime you talk about the safety of the citizens. Finance committee consists of 3 members of council whose duty shall be to examine all claims, accounts against the village for labor or material, and shall report on all such matters relative to the revenue of the village, and any and all conditions that will be conducive to economy, They shall sign all claims or vouchers before allowing payment thereof. Health Committee consists of 3 members of council who shall investigate the health conditions of the village from time to time, or as required, and make report and suggestions that will tend to prevent disease in the village. They shall receive all complaints, which complaints shall be in writing, about weeds within the corporation, and investigate said complaints at once and make due report, and shall perform all other duties that will mean for a cleaner and healthier village. Welfare Committee. This committee shall consist of 3 members of council, shall have supervision and authority over all parks and entertainment, and shall endeavor to provide such entertainment as will be conducive to more friendly relations among all citizens of Stryker community. And the last one, Judiciary Committee. The committee shall consist of 3 members of council, whose duty shall be to take into consideration all petitions and matters or things pertaining to the laws and ordinances of the village, and all such judiciary proceedings as shall be presented or may come into question or be referred to them by council, and to report their opinion thereupon, together with such propositions relative thereto, as to them shall seem proper. The committees are as follows. Let's do it this way. Now with these, just kind of split through them a little bit. No rhyme or reason in some cases. A lot of it was trying to make it equal amongst all of you. In this case, the Service Committee would be Rex Blevins, Rick Whittick, and Robert Spurwing. Out of those 3, who would like to be the lead? And my thought on this, I guess before I go too much further, is I don't want to overload, say, Rick and let him be the lead on all 3 of them. I would kind of like to kind of spread that out a little bit, but that is totally up to you guys. Whoever wants to lead, if Rick wants to take 3 leads, that's perfectly fine, but but it's one of those, it would be nice to be able to spread that. So out of Service Committee, Rex, Rick, Robert, the 3 R's. Any interest?
Makes me no difference.
Never me, I'll take it.
You want that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Rex, Blevins.
Right?
Rex chose
Chair or chief? Chief.
Chief Chair. The Safety Committee is Brooke Oberlin, Tracy Wise, and Rick Whittick. Who would like to take the chair on that one? Or the lead? Tracy? Okay, thank you. Finance Committee, Terry Wheeland, Tracy Wise, Robert Sperling.
Do you want,
Yeah.
Bob, do you want to do that?
I really don't care, but I'm thinking typically in the finance committee, historically, is the president of council.
I guess that's me.
That's
That-
because
yeah.
the president of council signs the appropriations.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're right, that technically
It's
is the
supposed to be.
rule.
Okay.
Guess who?
So that one don't count.
So by,
Yeah,
so by default,
Default of Beth.
yep, sorry.
that one actually worked out right when it came to nominations. The Health Committee, Terry Wheeland, Rex Blevins, and Rick Whittick.
I know better than agree, but I won't do that.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Volunteer for now. I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
I've been voluntold before as well. And so has Chief Slusher, been voluntold military life. Welfare Committee, Tracy Wise, Brooke Oberlin, and Rex Blevins.
Don't make me feel guilty, but I'm
Okay, we'll put you.
Okay.
It took that guilt.
He spoke, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You can only hide for so long. And Judiciary Committee, Terry Whelan, Brooke Oberlin, and Robert Sperling.
I say by Bob.
I'll take that. What about Bob?
What about
One of my favorite topics.
what, judiciary? Yeah, here's mine.
The one thing I'd like to kind of do with that is, at least within the next 3 months, just each group kind of get together. It could be a 10-minute thing, or it could be a 3-hour thing. Just kind of go through and at least get one kicked off, one meeting to discuss possibilities. Absolutely.
Well, okay.
That is what I have on the committee.
Since-
Finance can set one right now.
Can
Oh, you wanna
yeah,
set one now?
Can we set one with
Might as well.
finance real quick here, before we do this other stuff?
Okay.
Who's finance?
Finance
Bob,
is Terry,
Tracy.
Tracy, and Bob.
In particular time does not work, we ought to get this, my opinion, we ought to get this soon for
Where's our desktop?
for the
I was aiming for Terry.
folks there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Already in the 11th.
Thursday's not for you.
The next council meeting is what day?
I gave my calendar away. Oh, right here,
The
yeah,
8th.
February 8th.
I'll have a rough time staying.
What you guys got? I don't, it doesn't matter. You said Thursdays are not good for you?
Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Wednesdays and
So we knock
Thursdays.
out Wednesday, Thursdays. Historically, we stay away from Friday, so it leaves us Monday, Tuesdays. Me and Rex have fire meetings every Monday, officer meeting or full department meeting.
Yeah.
So Tuesdays are looking mighty good, except for the first Tuesday of the month. I have meetings in Long May, so as long as we're not the first Tuesday. we're good.
I can do Tuesdays. I do every Tuesday, but I can, that's not a big deal.
What time-
Right now.
What time's Friday?
6, but I can
Oh, what
even
time do
run.
you get over?
Oh, by 7, for sure.
Great, 7 works really good for
Okay.
me. I can stay at my
Okay.
desk and shuffle papers.
Okay. Let's, 26.
Yeah, back up to the 26th. That doesn't work out for Bob. First Tuesday.
Yeah, but we can hit, okay, well, is 19th open?
19, so
We do 19.
19, sounds good. 19, 7 o'clock. Right here.
That's an hour in
Beth?
Yes,
Yeah.
please do. And that's it.
At 7 p.m.?
Yes,
7
very
p.m.
convenient.
The way that
7
works,
p.m.
Brooke, is anybody can come to this.
There's not a
Did you get that?
OSU ball game or anything? is
No.
there? Darn.
No, we're
Well, no, I don't know about
You got a
basketball.
radio, though.
I don't know about basketball.
No football games.
No fight.
Finance meeting, 19th.
Okay, finance meeting will be on
January
January
19th,
19th.
7 o'clock.
2016. Did anyone want to set anything else up, or at least have some time to ponder it before you set things up?
I just didn't know if it-
Well, we have urgent business with the finance committee. I don't know, do we have any other committees that have burning topics?
Should we do, are you looking at maybe
No.
safety, Mr. Mayor, or what's going on?
Why don't we go through it and look at February, and I can get with, each of the leads in each of those, and just kind of give you an idea of what I was thinking, but
Okay.
ultimately, it's your committee. 100% your committee, and then you can set up from there.
I do have to advertise if you are having one.
Yeah, what,
Right.
is it
And it's
24
not,
hours?
I mean, if it's not set at a
It's 24 hours.
council
right?
meeting,
Right.
yeah, I have to
we'll-
give a 24-hour notice,
Yeah. we'll do that.
so.
It-
just a
We
reminder.
could set something up at the next meeting, we can make it public, but I just kind of give them my thoughts on a few
Okay.
things.
Okay.
Do we have, yeah, I can set a judiciary committee meeting right now, except that I don't have any, I'm not aware that we have any issues, that we
Nothing I
need to
know.
write any ordinances or anything.
At this time, I don't think that one's gonna fall.
No, but we might.
I could see attempting to assign homework and say, everybody read your book front to back, and then let's discuss what you
one of the things that originally when I was in your seat and I was under the district, I wanted to go through the complete book,
Yeah, a section at a time.
and life happened, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome to be able to do that, but that's 100% in your guys' court.
We kind of started a little bit.
We did, and then
We
we,
didn't get a couple of things, but
yeah, unfortunately, things happened.
And I do believe there's stuff that needs mopped up because a lot of stuff,
Yes.
the words were never removed when new ordinances were passed that invalidated certain parts of the old ones, but the old ones were never mopped up. It was simply stated that that doesn't matter anymore because of the new.
Yes.
No, you're right.
Yes.
So,
I guess Tuesdays are good for you?
yeah. We could-
Who's the lead on those?
Me.
Okay.
We could set something up for January 26th, that's a Tuesday, judiciary meeting. It's not out of the question to have it in combination with the finance, if you just want to have it get together to touch base and discuss things, or if you actually want.
Well, since you really don't have any quote-unquote dire need, I guess, we could do that, yeah.
We could do that as a, let's decide what sections of our code book we
wanna
feel we
start
should
with.
tackle first.
Sure.
So are you gonna do that prior to at 6:30, what are you thinking?
Well, Terry needs to be here in 7, it should be probably after the finance committee.
Yeah, let's do
You think, yeah?
I would think we.
that. I don't think finance.
We could take up the finance in an hour.
Oh, okay.
That's not gonna take, that shouldn't take that long.
No, I don't think so.
So judiciary immediately following?
Right.
Okay, let's do that.
Sounds good.
So, judiciary.
Is everybody?
Brooke, does that work for you?
yeah, that's fine.
8:15 is my bedtime.
We didn't ask you. I mean, okay.
Okay.
Sir.
So the 19th for 2 of them. Okay.
All righty.
Okay, next item, I believe, yes.
I'd like to move that we go into executive session for compensation and possible hiring of personnel.
Can we get a second on that? Roll call?
Wheeling,
Yes?
Whittick,
Yes.
Oberlin,
Yes.
Blevins,
Yes.
Sperling,
Yes.
Wise.
Yes.
I just need to have who you would like to include.
I'll just have you step, both of you two are fine, and then the whole council.
Okay.
Shut the camera off.
Cameras?
Yep.
Thank you.